What if I told you, the pain you're feeling right now is the greatest gift she ever gave you? Not because it feels good, it doesn't. Not because it makes sense right now, it won't. But because this pain is the fire that forges men. She left, and with her went the illusion, the comfort, the fantasy. Now you're face to face with a version of yourself that's raw, unfiltered and dangerous. The version of you who no longer needs her, or anyone else. You see, most men collapse when a woman walks away. They chase, they beg, they spiral. They think love is about proving themselves to someone who already decided they weren't enough. That's not love. That's delusion. That's emotional slavery. And that's exactly where Stoicism cuts through the noise. Stoicism teaches one brutal, freeing truth. You are not owed anything, not love, not loyalty, not closure. But you are responsible for everything, your reaction, your growth, your path. You can't control who stays or who leaves, but you can control what you become after they do. And that's where your power is. She may have thought you'd fall apart, that you'd sit there waiting for her message, that you'd become a ghost of yourself, haunted by what could have been. But the man you're about to become, he doesn't wait. He doesn't chase. He doesn't need validation from someone who gave up on him. This isn't about getting her back. This is about getting your soul back. The version of you that let things slide, that overgave, that tolerated disrespect just to avoid being alone. That man is dead, and from his ashes rises someone she never saw coming. You'll become calm, composed, focused. You'll learn to walk alone, not because you hate her, but because you finally respect yourself. And when you move like that, silently and with purpose, something happens. She notices, she regrets. But by then, you won't care, because you'll be so far ahead she'll be looking at a memory, a shadow of someone she can't reach anymore. So if you're sitting in that darkness right now, angry, confused, lost, understand this: you're exactly where you need to be. The world thinks heartbreak breaks men, but Stoic men, we build ourselves from it. If you're done living in the past, if you're ready to rewrite your story, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I release what I cannot control. Number 1. The fall let her go without closure. She left without a real reason. Maybe it was sudden. Maybe she said something like, "I just need time," or "It's not you, it's me." Or maybe she just disappeared, cold, quiet, distant. One minute you were building a future, and the next you were watching it collapse with no warning. And now you're here, sitting in the ruins, questioning every move you made, trying to solve a puzzle that never had a clear picture to begin with. You replay it all in your head, the last conversation, the last look in her eyes, the way she changed. You think, if I could just understand, maybe I could move on. But here's the reality most men never accept. Closure is a trap. It's not clarity you're seeking, it's comfort. It's a final word to wrap things up neatly so you can feel okay again. But love doesn't end neatly. People leave, often for reasons they'll never fully say out loud, and sometimes they don't even know themselves. A Stoic man doesn't beg for explanations. He doesn't stalk her page, reread messages, or try to decode her silence. He doesn't wait for the apology that's never coming. Because the moment someone walks away without the decency to be honest, that was their answer. That was their character on full display. You don't chase someone who had no problem losing you. You observe, you accept, you move. And here's the twist. Letting go without closure is the ultimate form of control. You stop giving her the power to dictate your peace. You stop handing her the keys to your emotional stability. Most men spiral in this phase, texting, calling, trying to meet just one last time. But the Stoic man, he stays still, he breathes, he doesn't reach out. Not because he doesn't care, but because he respects himself more than the illusion. She may expect you to fall apart, to beg, to wait. That's the pattern she's seen. But when you walk away in silence, when you vanish without drama, without a fight, that's when she starts to wonder. That's when her power starts to slip. So feel the pain, own it, but don't let it own you. Your silence is louder than any goodbye. Your calm is more powerful than any argument. This is the beginning of your transformation, not from pain to revenge, but from boy to man. If you're done begging for answers that don't exist, if you're ready to walk forward with silence and strength, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below, "I release what I cannot control." Number 2, the silence. Stop reacting, start observing. You're feeling the urge to reach out, to text her, to check her story, to post something just to see if she reacts. That's your wounded ego talking. That's your craving for validation screaming at you. But here's the harsh truth. Every reaction you give her feeds her control, and the more emotional you become, the more predictable you are. A man she can read like a book is a man she no longer respects. Stoicism begins in the silence. Not the silence she gave you, but the silence you now choose. When you stop reacting, you start observing. You start noticing how she moved, how she changed, how long you overlooked the red flags because your emotions were in the way. You stop responding to her breadcrumbs, those little "hey" messages, the vague likes, the random check-ins that mean nothing. That's not love, that's control, and you don't play that game anymore. You have to kill the need to be noticed. That's where real power begins. A Stoic man doesn't move emotionally, he moves intentionally. He doesn't explode, he doesn't chase, he doesn't explain. He detaches and watches. He speaks through action, through progress, through stillness. Let her wonder where your energy went. Let her notice the silence where attention used to be. Let her feel the space you once filled. Silence is not weakness, it's strategy, it's mystery, it's discipline, and most importantly, it's freedom. Because every time you don't respond, every time you resist the urge to prove yourself, you grow stronger. And she feels it. Women are emotional creatures. They feel shifts. When your energy pulls back, when your validation is no longer free, they notice. This isn't about ignoring her out of spite. It's about cutting off access to the version of you she took for granted. The version that texted first, that explained too much, that chased. That version of you is gone, and the silence you sit in now, that's the sound of your rebirth. If you're done being predictable, if you're ready to let silence be your strongest message, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. My silence is strength. Number 3, the mirror. Level up without her. Now that you've gone silent, it's time to face the mirror. Not just to reflect, but to rebuild. This is where most men either rot in self-pity or rise in silence. And you're about to rise. Here's the reality. She is watching. Maybe not directly, maybe not today, but eventually she will check. That's what they do. They always circle back, even if it's just to confirm you're still stuck. Don't give her that satisfaction. When she looks back, let her see a man transformed. A man unrecognizable. Not because he changed for her, but because he changed for himself. Leveling up isn't about revenge, it's about redemption. You don't hit the gym to make her jealous. You do it to take back your power. You don't grind harder to prove anything. You do it because your mission matters more than your emotions. You clean up your space. You wake up earlier. You master your habits. Discipline becomes your love language now. Look around. Most men fall apart after heartbreak. They drink, distract themselves, jump into meaningless hookups to feel alive again. But none of that heals you. It just delays your growth. A Stoic man doesn't distract himself. He confronts himself. He sees the pain, the flaws, the weakness, and uses them as fuel. You let her go? Good. Now use that empty space to upgrade every part of your life. And understand this. There is nothing more intimidating than a man who kept going after she left. That version of you, the one who chooses purpose over pain, the one who grows in silence, is the version that makes her regret everything. But by the time she realizes it, she'll be looking at a stranger. Because the man she left behind, he no longer exists. So fix your posture, sharpen your mind, Build your world brick by brick. This is your comeback, but you're not broadcasting it. You're building it privately, patiently, powerfully. If you're done waiting to be saved, if you're ready to become a man no one forgets, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I rise in silence. Number 4. The shift. Detach to regain control. You cared. You gave. You imagined a future with her. That's not weakness. That's being human. But here's where the shift begins. You no longer need her to complete that vision, because the truth is, any love that requires you to lose yourself isn't love. It's dependency. And dependency kills masculinity. You've been taught that holding on means fighting for love. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. Real strength is in letting go, not out of bitterness, but out of clarity. Detachment isn't about being cold, it's about being conscious. It means you stop tying your identity to someone else's presence in your life. She doesn't get to define your worth. That power belongs to you now. Most men stay emotionally trapped long after a woman leaves. They carry her memory like a ghost, thinking they'll never feel that spark again. But that's not love. It's addiction. And like any addiction, the first step to recovery is withdrawal. You have to sit with the discomfort. You have to unhook your mind from the need to be chosen. You have to take all that energy you poured into her and pour it into yourself. The moment you detach, everything flips. She feels the void. She senses the shift. The emotional grip she had, it weakens. Because when you stop chasing, when you stop reacting, when you stop caring whether she sees your growth, that's when she starts to. That's when regret starts whispering in her ear. But by then, it's too late. You don't detach to punish her. You detach to free yourself. And in that freedom, you find power. Not the loud, desperate kind, but the silent, unshakable kind. You move on, not because you stopped loving her, but because you finally started loving yourself more. If you're done tying your peace to someone else's presence, if you're ready to detach and take control, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I let go to grow. Number 5. The test. When she comes back. Here's the part no one prepares you for. She might come back. Not always with a grand apology. Sometimes with a casual, "Hey, how have you been?" Or a like on an old post, or a late-night message, just enough to make you pause. But don't mistake her curiosity for commitment. This isn't her falling back in love. This is her testing the waters to see if she still owns space in your mind. She remembers the old you, the one who was always available, always eager, always ready to fix things. But now, you've changed. You've gone silent. You've leveled up. You've detached. And that silence, that indifference, it makes her feel something she didn't expect. Doubt, regret, fear that she lost a man who became something bigger without her. But this moment is critical, because most men, after all their progress, stumble here. They see that message and fall back into old habits, replying fast, rekindling hope, opening the door to a cycle that already destroyed them once. Don't be that man. Recognize the test, and pass it by doing what Stoic men do best, staying grounded. You don't owe her a reaction. You don't owe her closure. If she really wanted you, she never would have walked away. And if she wants to come back now, she better bring more than just words. She better bring action, accountability, change. And even then, you still might say no, because by now you've tasted peace. You've rebuilt your frame. You're no longer the man who needs her. You're the man she can't reach. This isn't about revenge. It's about recognition. Recognizing that not every "I miss you" deserves a response. Not every return is redemption. And not every test needs to be taken. Sometimes, the most powerful move is none at all. If you're done falling for recycled promises, if you're ready to pass the test by standing tall, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I do not return to what broke me. Number 6. The frame. Keep your center. She was part of your story, not the whole story. Read that again. You built your world around her. Your thoughts, your time, your energy, they all revolved around someone who ended up walking away. And that's where you lost your frame. The frame is everything. It's your internal structure, your code, your unshakable core. And once you lose it, everything collapses. Women don't leave because you're too focused on them. They leave because you stopped focusing on yourself. You shifted your life's gravity toward her, and she felt it. You made her the prize, and in doing that, you stopped being one. And the worst part? You didn't even realize it was happening. You thought being available, loving, and consistent would earn her loyalty. But what she really wanted, what all women deeply respect, is a man who never bends his reality to fit someone else. Reclaiming your frame means this. She's no longer the center of your world. You are. Your mission, your values, your direction, those come first. She can be part of your life, but she doesn't become your life. Because when you keep your center, you stop chasing, you stop explaining, and you stop apologizing for being who you are. And here's the kicker. When you stay in your frame, she feels it. It's in the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you no longer ask for permission to be a man with standards. You become calm under pressure, unmoved by drama, grounded in purpose, and that's rare, that's magnetic, that's what draws people in, not because you're trying, but because you're centered. So don't orbit her. Let her orbit you, or not. Either way, you stay solid, because a woman can walk away from a man, but she can't forget the one who never left his frame. If you're done shrinking yourself to fit into someone else's story, if you're ready to hold your ground and lead your life, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I keep my frame no matter who stays or leaves. Number 7. The power. Become a man. She can't read. The man who wears his heart on his sleeve, who spills his emotions at every trigger, who reveals every thought and insecurity, he's easy to leave. Because there's no mystery, no depth, no edge. And the hard truth is, people don't value what's predictable. They get bored. They move on. You have to become the man she can't read. Not because you're playing games, but because you're mastering yourself. A Stoic man knows his emotions, but he doesn't broadcast them. He feels anger, sadness, attraction, but he controls the display. He isn't cold, he's composed. His energy is calm, his reactions are measured, his moves are deliberate. And that mystery drives people insane. When you're unpredictable, you become unforgettable. She doesn't know what you're thinking. She doesn't know if you miss her. She doesn't know if you care. That uncertainty, it's powerful. It forces her to think about you more, to chase your energy instead of running from it. It puts the burden of curiosity on her shoulders, where it belongs. This is where dark psychology meets Stoic wisdom. Control the narrative by controlling your exposure. Show less, speak less, reveal less. Let your actions speak. Let your results echo. When you move in silence, your absence becomes louder than your presence ever was. She left thinking she knew everything about you, but the man you are becoming, she has no map for him, no compass to navigate him, no hold over him. This doesn't just apply to her, it applies to the world. Become a fortress, a mystery, a calm storm. People respect what they can't fully access. Become that, and you'll never have to explain your value again. If you're done being an open book for people to skim and discard, if you're ready to be a mystery no one can predict, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I move in silence. I build in silence. Number 8. The law. Don't chase what runs. There's a brutal law of nature that too many men ignore. The more you chase, the faster they run. It's wired into human psychology. When something is readily available, we take it for granted. When something pulls away, we value it. That's not toxic, that's reality. And if you fight that law, you lose. Every time. When she left, your instincts probably screamed at you to chase her, to fix it, to prove your worth. But every call, every text, every desperate apology, it didn't pull her closer. It pushed her further away. It confirmed her decision. It painted you as the man who doesn't know his value. And in the process, you made her the prize instead of realizing you are the prize. A Stoic man obeys the law. If someone walks away, you let them. No resistance, no convincing, no chasing. You understand that true value doesn't beg. True strength doesn't explain itself. You are not a salesman for your own soul. If she can't see it, you walk, silent, composed, untouchable. And here's where it gets deep. When you stop chasing, you not only preserve your dignity, you multiply your attractiveness. Why? Because you become scarce. Scarcity creates value. Scarcity forces people to realize what they lost. Scarcity makes them question everything they thought they knew about you. But you're not doing it to get her back. You're doing it because you finally understand your own worth. You don't chase love. You don't chase attention. You chase your purpose, your peace, your power. If someone wants to be part of your world, they'll match your pace. If they don't, they'll fall behind, and you'll never look back. If you're done chasing ghosts, if you're ready to be the man who is pursued, not the man who pursues, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below, I attract by walking away. Number 9. The focus, purpose over people. When you make a woman your focus, you lose your center. You abandon the very thing that made you attractive to her in the first place. Your drive, your ambition, your sense of self. A man without purpose becomes a man without gravity, and without gravity everything drifts away, including her. A Stoic man knows this. Your purpose must always come before people, before her, before friends, before fleeting emotions, because your purpose is the one thing that doesn't betray you, doesn't abandon you, doesn't ghost you when something better comes along. It's your anchor, your compass, your fire. When you live for a woman, your world shrinks. You start making decisions based on fear. Fear of upsetting her, fear of losing her, fear of being alone. And fear kills respect. But when you live for a mission greater than yourself, your world expands, your energy shifts. You stop chasing approval and start radiating something deeper, certainty, confidence, vision. And here's the paradox. When you make your mission your priority, you become magnetic. People are drawn to a man on a path, a man who has somewhere to go, something to build, a fire that doesn't flicker when someone leaves. That energy, it's rare, it's unforgettable, and the woman who left thinking she was your whole world, she'll realize too late that she was just one part of your story, not the story itself. So ask yourself, are you building your empire, or were you trying to make her your empire? Because one leads to power and the other leads to pain. Choose wisely. If you're done sacrificing your dreams for temporary emotions, if you're ready to put your mission above all else, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. My purpose is my power. Number 10. The arrival. She'll regret it, but you'll be gone. Here's the part you've been waiting for, and it's not what you think. Yes, she'll regret it. Yes, there will be a moment when she looks back and realizes what she lost. She'll see you stronger, sharper, colder. She'll see the man you became, the man she could have stood beside, but chose to walk away from. And in that moment, regret will hit her harder than anything you could ever say. But by then, you won't be there to see it. Because the man you've become doesn't live in the past. He doesn't crave validation from the people who couldn't handle his early stages. He doesn't slow down for the ones who gave up at the first sign of discomfort. The man you've built, the one forged through silence, discipline, and purpose, he's already moved on. You didn't level up to make her regret. You leveled up because you owed it to yourself. Her regret is just a side effect, a small, distant echo that barely reaches you, because you're too busy building, growing, conquering. Your energy is no longer fixated on proving anything. You're too rare, too focused, too in love with your future to even care who notices anymore. And that's the real win, when you no longer need her regret to validate your journey. When her silence, her absence, her decisions no longer hold weight in your world. because you became the man who no longer looks back. So let her watch from a distance. Let her sit with her choices. You're not bitter. You're just beyond her reach now. If you're done living for someone else's approval, if you're ready to become a man whose presence is missed but never needed, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I don't go back. I don't slow down. That's the Stoic path. That's how you win. Stay sharp. Stay silent. Stay blessed.